So today we are going to wrap it up. And the story of the prodigal son, if you really think about it, is a story of coming home, isn't it? And it's really kind of a main theme that is found all throughout Scripture: exile and coming home. I mean, it's interesting, even some modern-day philosophers will recognize the truth that humankind is kind of got this underlying homesickness, is what they call it. Okay, we feel like we're not at home. We don't feel at ease. And if you think about it from a scriptural perspective, it makes perfect sense, doesn't it? I mean, you go all the way back to the Garden of God. You go all the way back to the Garden of Eden in Genesis. It was our home. And our home fits. We are suited for home. Adam and Eve, they knew God's will perfectly. They walked and they talked with God. Their creative desires were completely and totally fulfilled as they worked in the garden. They lacked nothing. I mean, I wonder if God actually embraced them and they felt the loving arms of God. But they lacked absolutely nothing. It was perfect. They were home. And then humanity chafed under the Father's authority. Something that you and I still do each and every day in our thoughts and our words and our deeds when we think we know better than God. We want to follow our own desires, our own wants. And regardless of God's will for our life, we think we know best and we go ahead and we do our own thing. And because humanity chafed under the Father's authority, we've been lost. We've been alienated, exiled. And this world just does not fit. We were made to live with God face to face and eye to eye, but in this world we live by faith. We were made to live perfect and sinless lives. In this world, our lives are stained by sin. This world does not fit. If you really think about it, we are all a prodigal son, right? And we all experience this void, a longing for home. Remember that great animated movie? Everybody knows it, 1994, The Lion King. It's really kind of interesting because when you do just a little bit of research on it, the Disney animators really wanted nothing to do with The Lion King. They wanted to all focus on Pocahontas. They thought Pocahontas was going to be the big hit of the summer. And in reality, it ended up becoming Lion King. In the beginning of Lion King, they sang this song, The Circle of Life. If you've ever gone to Disney World and you go to the Lion King show, I mean, people are singing, they're bouncing, doing flips. There's all of this excitement as everyone is singing The Circle of Life. Well, in the animated movie, it starts off with singing The Circle of Life. A little bit later on in the movie, you have Mufasa and Simba. Mufasa is the Lion King, right? And Simba is his son. And they're sitting on this ledge and they're overlooking their kingdom. Okay, and Mufasa is sharing with his son. He talks about this great circle of life. Well, Simba doesn't understand. He says, but Dad, don't we eat the antelope? He kind of had this kind of pyramid kind of picture of life, and he was at the top of the pyramid. Don't we eat the antelope? And yet his dad goes on to explain, yes, son, but you don't understand. The great circle of life is yes, we eat the antelope, but sooner or later we die. And we return to the ground, and the nutrients from our body nourish the grass, and then the antelope eat the grass. It's the great circle of life. I mean, isn't that wonderful? I mean, isn't that great? Don't you just want to sing about that in the circle of life, that all of us sooner or later are going to feed the antelope? I mean, is it no wonder that this world doesn't fit? Okay, we were not made for it, and we can't find rest in this world. We got this sense of being unsettled, this profound alienation. We all experience this emptiness and this void. And why? Because we are not home. And that's why in Luke chapter 15, verse 32, that the Father says we had to celebrate and be glad. You get that? We had to celebrate and be glad because this brother of yours was dead and is alive. He was lost and is found.